I'm gonna jump right into reviewing Laura Geller's Best of the Best Tuscan Dreams makeup palette, which is a part of a set that comes with the Baked Balance and Brighten foundation and an angled kabuki brush. So I really wanted to try this set for a long time, but I've been so skeptical because I have dry skin. I just couldn't imagine putting powder. I've never been a powder person. Especially in recent years, I've switched to mostly cream products, even like my eyeshadow and stuff. Like, I've just been a no powder person. And so when I start seeing all these ads for basically this entire face of nothing but baked products that began as cream and were baked into powder, I'm like, I don't care how it began. It's a powder now, and I don't know how it's gonna work, you know? I don't know the science behind all of it, obviously, but it just seemed a little scary to me. I do have on the full face, and I do think it looks really nice. Now, I do that little test when I put on this makeup, like you know, you can feel sometimes like any kind of tightness that's happening, and I'm like, so I'm moving my mouth around to like, is it is it dry? Do I feel dry? And honestly, I can tell that it is a different application. I can tell that it is not liquid on my skin or cream or nothing. However, when I touch my skin, it feels moisturized, and it doesn't look cakey at all, I don't think. It's a little hot in here right now, so I don't typically have as much glow as I've got right now. But once I put this makeup on, I really immediately saw that I looked glowy. I didn't look dry or cakey. I think that this is a makeup that's gonna work for me sometimes. You know how our skin can often kind of change throughout the month, especially if, you know, you're kind of going through changes and stuff like that. Sometimes my skin feels more moisturized than other times, and honestly, I feel like that's when I'll reach for this, because I just have to feel like there's a lot of moisture on underneath before I apply this. However, it really did go on well. I could have done the video with the makeup and done the application and everything, and maybe I will make another one doing that, but I just wanted you to go ahead and see. I love the colors. For starters, the colors are amazing. Like I really like the blush in this one. There's another set. I think it's just like a classic set, and it's got like just 3 eyeshadows. But the blush, I think, is a little more of a neutral, like a cooler toned. I like the peachiness of this one. And so I really that was the main reason I decided I wanted this one. I also like the fact that the highlighter in this, it does not have shimmer. I mean, like, I don't know, it's some sorcery of some sort. I've got powder on my entire face right now, yet it looks like, I think there's a little shimmer in the blush, but not in the highlighter, which is fantastic, because sometimes I like to take a little bit here, like to kind of like go under my eyes for a little more coverage or a little brightener. So I would almost consider this as more of a brightener than a highlighter, but the eyeshadow colors are gorgeous. I'm wearing the top 3 right now. I love the pigmentation. It's not overly pigmented. People talk about how much they love when something is super pigmented. I hate that, because that means I'm gonna have to work with it. I'm gonna have to be careful with it. I'm gonna have to really be sure that I'm blending it out just right. But the pigmentation is not so rich that you feel like you can't just put it on easily. Like, I love this pigmentation. It took me no time to do my eyes. I usually spend a lot more time when I do eyeshadow looks than I did today. But the bronzer is lovely. I actually mostly just have it on my neck, because my neck is very pale compared to the rest of my body, and I do have some on my forehead. That's all. It's the bronzer I use. The rest, I just did a cheek, I did the blush, and I did my, so a lot of the times you see people doing their highlighter all the way up here. I don't do that. I don't ever like how that looks on my face. I like to focus my highlighter right in here, like right in the inner cheek area, just up to about this point. And with this particular highlighter not being shimmery, you can even take it up a little higher and it looks so pretty. And this here is honestly, I don't think there's really much makeup right there. I did a little bit of concealer, so you're probably just seeing some of that lightness. I don't think we should ever focus much makeup in this general area when we get older, because obviously when we smile, we have lines there, and if there is makeup there, it's gonna make those lines more pronounced. So trying to kind of keep that area as clean as possible is, I think, is kind of key to doing a good makeup application over 40 or whatever. The foundation, so the color I used today is actually Fair. It is the middle of summer, y'all, and I used Fair. I have a little bit of a tan, so with these colors, this is so important. With these colors, I had tried the actual Baked Balance in Brighten before I got this kit. And at Christmas time, I had got my daughter to get me some. That was what I told her I wanted for Christmas. So she got me the color light. Well, when I tried to put it on, it was too dark. At Christmas time, it was too dark for me to wear light, which has never been the case. I've always bought light to medium tones all throughout the year. But in Laura Geller, in these particular foundations, you're gonna need to probably go back one. So I actually kind of feel like I needed to go back two, because I was tempted to try medium, and then I was looking at it online and I was like, that person looks really dark and they're wearing medium, so I better get the light. But the light was even a little bit too dark for me. So that being said, I didn't feel like I got to really try the product, because I felt like I looked really pale around my lips when I would wear it. And I don't know, I never really felt like I got to try it. Well, today, I will say, as I got a tan in the summer, the light started to work for me. And that's what made me want to buy this kit. I'm like, okay, I can see that this product has got a nice feel to it. I really do want to try like some of the other products. So when I ordered it though, I didn't order another light. I ordered Fair, because I thought, well, you know, when winter rolls around, I'll have one that I can use then. So kind of went backwards with it. But today I used Fair because I just wanted to see. And y'all, I'm telling you, like, even with my tanned-ish skin, I'm swirling on the Fair, and it looks like it is a perfect match. Like, it's a good match. I have light olive skin, so if you know, I lean on the green side. But what's great about these is I really do think that they just kind of work with any skin tone. I really think that even if I was on the pinker side, or even on the more on the yellow side, it would be a balanced look. I don't feel like it took me too yellow or too pink or anything. I just feel like it just like really blended in beautifully. So it's funny how Fair actually works even now in the summer. That's the main things I needed you to know, and hopefully some things I said just kind of resonated, because the issues that I was having was like, okay, I have dry skin and I need somebody to tell me that this doesn't make me feel like I'm going to crack, and it doesn't, but I would say go lightly with it. Don't put on too much. Now with this brush, you may have heard, like, you've got the kabuki brush and it's full, you know, fully open, that it's gonna have more of a lighter application, but you can do a denser application or thicker, whatever. More product will stick to your face when you use it pulled up like this. Now I did not use the kabuki brush to put on the foundation. I actually used it to put on the blush, just because I wanted to try it, because this is a new thing for me. But I actually did my foundation with this brush. It's just loose, angled, kind of rounded brush. I really like this brush. I don't even know who makes it. I would say when you go to put on your foundation, don't pick up too much product at first. See if you can kind of see that it's blending you out with just as little as possible, because that's probably what you're going to want to do if you have dry skin. because then you gotta think, I'm gonna be putting on some blush. I'm gonna be going over this again with even more powder. So keep that in mind when you're putting on the foundation, that you wanna go really lightly on your cheeks. You wanna go lightly anywhere that you know that you're gonna be putting more powder. Like if you're gonna go onto your top of your forehead with bronzer, you don't really need to go up there with much foundation. Yeah, because you see people who are doing like cream makeup applications, and they put a stripe of bronzer here, and then they put a stripe of blush, and they've got their foundation color and their concealer and all this stuff. Well, you can kind of put this makeup on the same way. Like you can have an idea of where other makeup's gonna go. So that way you're not just putting on layers and layers and layers of powder. And then you just end up with something really lovely. I'm actually just surprised as I could be. I'm surprised. So it's been about 2 hours since I applied the baked products to my face, and I know 2 hours is not a very long time in terms of makeup wear, but it's also not nothing. I've purchased a lot of products that have been completely undetectable after 2 hours, and I think what was happening was where my skin is dry, these products would just soak right in. Because they were cream-based products, I think a lot of the times my face just like thought it was a moisturizer, and it would just be gone after no time. But I will say that I think the finish on this is prettier now than it was when I put it on originally. I feel like it's just sort of become part of my face. It sort of melted with what oils I did have working. And instead of soaking up the oil and making my face feel parched and dry, it's actually done the other. It's done the opposite, because it even feels more comfortable. So I'm giving this a total thumbs up. I'm excited. I'm excited to use this palette. And so if you have dry skin and you've been wanting to try it, I definitely recommend it. And so just make sure you've got on a good moisturizer, and you should be good to go. So I'm hoping to make another video where I'm doing an application of it. We'll see. But if not, hopefully this video helped, and I appreciate you watching. Yeah, I'll catch you next time. Bye.